Wise Pineapples. Welcome to the Juicy Tidbits podcast, where my mission is to energize you, your team, and your sweet results. I'm your host, Christine Trippy, the Chief Fun Officer here at the Wise Pineapple. Today, I'm so excited. My guest star is Calvin Tilokee. Calvin is the CEO at Revpar Media. You might know Calvin better if you think of his hilarious social media memes from Revparblums on Instagram. Calvin also has made the list of top 50 most influential leaders in all of hospitality for 2021. Woohoo! Welcome, Calvin!
Hello.
Congratulations on that awesome accomplishment. That's so
Thank
cool.
Thank you so much. I was very surprised to get that. I'm out here in LA, so I got the news 3 hours later than everybody else.
Right.
I woke up to a bunch of notifications, and I'm not going to lie, I thought it was fake at first. I thought it was, you get these emails sometimes, and I was like, what is this? Well, once I went on LinkedIn, I saw everybody else, yourself and a bunch of other people we know. I was like, whoa, this is real. I was like, wow, that's cool. How did that happen?
I know, Calvin. I literally felt all the same things that you felt. And I remember thinking, how did they know who I am?
Exactly. I think I'm just here. I'm making some memes. I'm on LinkedIn
Right.
on a show, and you don't really realize the impact you're having, I guess, which is it's kind of cool. I mean, it's always great to be recognized.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I'm still a little bit in disbelief that I'm on the list, but
Same here.
Very happy about it.
Yeah. Well, as a top 50 award or recognized, I'm so honored that you're here on the show.
I'm happy to be here anytime. We typically we typically set things off when we're on screen together. So
yes,
I'm excited.
Totally. And I really appreciate you being here to help re-energize our industry. You know as well as I how hard it's been the last 18 months, and this is a passion project just to try to re-energize our peeps out there.
I love it. Yeah,
me too. So I love how you started your company. Tell everyone how it came about.
Yeah, so Revpar Media came about as obviously you guys will be able to tell from my page. I was in revenue management for a long time in the industry. I worked in hospitality just about 20 years. About half of that was in revenue management. And the last few properties I worked at, I really got involved in the PR and marketing and social media side of things as well. And I just noticed a huge gap in the industry. I think us as hotels, we don't do social media properly. We haven't embraced it as a true marketing tool. There's hotels out there with 18, 20, 30,000 followers, but their engagement is less than 1%. Which basically means they're not paying attention to what you're saying. So you've got 30,000 people that you should be able to sell rooms to that you can't because they're not paying attention. Right. So what's the point of that page?
Right.
And then on
the busy work.
Right. And that's the unfortunate thing. That's typically how it starts is because we're not dedicating a person or a department to that. We throw it to the sales coordinator who is, okay, hey, listen, when you're done with those contracts, make sure we put something up on Instagram, or, who's the youngest person in the office, okay, yeah, social media, go ahead and post this up. Right. You know what I mean? And it goes back to the old saying with computers, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Right. If that's the approach you're going to take, then don't expect results. But I think the problem's even deeper than that is we don't know what results to look for. I think it's been treated as, listen, we're a business. We need to be on Instagram. We need to be on social media. But to what end is the point? And obviously coming at it with a revenue management mind, I'm looking at everything as dollars and cents, right? Like, how do we monetize this? How do we turn this into business? Right. And again, if you've got that many people on an Instagram page, that's great. It looks good when a guest finds you. But then what, right? Like, what you want to do is be able to, put convert, right? Throw something up in your content. People are happy, excited. They love what you're posting. And now it's, hey, guess what? We've got a promo coming up. Stay with us over July 4th weekend, whatever it is. You want to be able to convert them to guests. Otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly. And it's funny because I am by far not the social media expert, but even as a general manager, I can share with you. And I don't know if we've talked about this or not. I can't remember, but just knowing what I did know about social media, I started our Facebook page for just our small little courtyard in the suburbs of Chicago, and we were right next to the Navy, Great Lakes Navy boot camp, where everybody graduated from boot camp every Friday. And we started a whole campaign and when they came back from boot camp, we had the red carpet. We were paparazzi. We took pictures of them as they came in. Yeah. Then we posted it on our social media and gave them a QR code. So now all of these Navy mamas were going and liking our page to get their son and daughter's picture. And then all their Navy mama friends would see where they were staying. And we slowly and surely became the number one hotel for all of Navy graduation. And I would say a massive portion of that was our social media efforts. So if you're a hotel in the suburbs and you're your average courtyard and you think, what is social media going to do for me if I have a social media page? That's one example of how we really drove results through social media.
That's fantastic. And that's a great point, because a lot of people think that you need to have some fancy property for you to do well on social media. And it's completely false, because hotels and hospitality is and always will be about the human connection. And you can do that on social media with things exactly like what you just did right there. You connected with your guests the same way you would have connected when they came through the door. We're just putting a picture to it. It's really not, it's not different. And it doesn't matter if you're a courtyard or some fancy 5-star boutique somewhere in a big city. Every hotel has these interactions with guests, and you have your own people, right?
Yes, so it was about them, not what we're doing every day. It was about the people who stayed in our four walls, and then often it was about the people who worked in our four walls and whatnot.
There you go.
So always having that mindset. So I am 100% on board with you, because I know it's worked for me in the past too. And again, imagine what you can do if you have somebody like Calvin helping you, because he really gets it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been there. I've checked them in and I've charged them. I've done it all. So
yes, and the social media side of it all. So so when you began all of this and you just started doing memes for fun, what position were you in? Where were you working? What was going on for you then?
I was a director of revenue when I started really making them for public consumption, I guess. Because I started the first ones I remember making were just in the hotel, and I would print them. So I'd make it on the computer and I'd print it out on paper and I'd hang it on my door. I'd make a different one every week, just something funny that happened. And then I moved in.
People wouldn't be afraid to go visit you. They'd see fun on the door. The revenue manager. I'm going to go this way.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, seriously. I have a story about that. I got into revenue late because of that. So I started out, my first official position out of college, I was a reservations manager reporting into the director of revenue. And he was just miserable all the time. And I actually
names.
No. But I actually said to myself, I'm like, that is the last job that I want. I don't want to do that. He looks stressed and miserable all the time. It's like, that job must suck. So it forced me actually to, I left I left hotels. I knew the industry. I went into restaurants for a while and worked there for a couple of years, realized, F&B is not my world. So I got back into hotels and actually worked with a different director of revenue, but her personality was much different and she was much more of a teacher. And then I realized, I was like, okay, it's not really the job. It was just how he was, I mean, and I think that's also a point. You could have two people in the same situation, but it's your perspective on it and your attitude towards what you're doing that will make an impact. And
remember, that is a great message for how you show up every day.
Exactly.
Are you showing up, luckily he was just making all the people inside the four walls think that revenue was not a good position. But when we show up, even if we're pumping gas and we've got our name tag on or we got our uniform on, we're demonstrating what our brand is. So for you, the brand of revenue manager was diminished because of how somebody shows up. We impact so many people and how we show up. So that's a great topic right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So I really got into it. I moved into the city.
Wait, which city?
New York City.
New York,
yeah, sorry. Yeah. I always assume people know where I am, even though I don't live there anymore. So I do really need to start specifying New York City. I got my first role in New York City, and I started making the memes after like conference calls. We had a weekly call, and there's always something that came up, and it just I have a very observant brain, so I always pick up on something. And I'd make a meme and I'd send it to the distribution list, and everybody was cracking up on them. So I said, hey, we need to expand this. Like, let's share this with the whole company and not just this little group of ours. Right. So I started a Facebook group for these. And the intention at that point was to have everybody kind of make a meme and drop them in there, which lasted about 2 weeks. And then
everybody ran creativity, but not you.
Exactly. I realized I was the only person that could post every day. I kept coming up with something, and I discovered something in myself at that point. I was like, man, I can do this every day. I figured I'd run out of ideas at some point, but it hasn't happened. Yes. And this is like 5 years ago.
I love it. Yeah. It's funny because it seems like, it was 2015 that I started my Wise Pineapple group. And I was worried also that I'd run out of things. And I'm still going. I'm not coming up with humorous things. You just have this talent to put humor to things, but just sharing positive energy and hotel know-how from the road, it just keeps coming. I keep investing in myself to give more. And then you're doing the exact same thing. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, how about giving a little more right now? Since you were such a great revenue manager, let's just pretend we're all at a team huddle and we've got all the departments in a huddle. What would be a revenue huddle topic that you could share with a hotel team to help them drive revenue?
I think that always comes down to communication. So if you're the revenue manager, I would stress to you that understand that you rely on everyone else to execute, right? We don't check people in, we don't clean rooms, we don't do any of that stuff, right? So our role is on the front end to kind of make the noise, bring the people, to the hotel, but we need to rely on everybody else to execute and over communicate. Is what I found. One thing I did in the past is come up with a daily kind of little newsletter. I made it a fun like a one sheet newspaper, but for the front desk. And it was for front office. I'd attend their morning stand up and also have my analyst go to she would do it at the shift meeting, at like around 3:00 when you'd switch, and just basic information. This is our occupancy. This is our forecast for the night's occupancy we're trying to get to. So how many rooms we need to sell to get there. This is our best available rate. If someone comes in for walks, this is the rate you can offer. So you give them a range. So you give them that empowerment that, hey, our rate may be $199, but you know what? If you get a call or somebody comes in and they want $159, take it because we need to sell that room tonight. Just kind of quick hit type of information to educate them. It helps me obviously because I know that, okay, that gives them a better chance to execute, but then now they feel part of the game and they understand what their role is.
Exactly. And just having that refresh before you're going into it. There's so many things we need to think about the front desk needs to think about to have you be there going, hey, here's some options, here's some ideas, here's some refresh, and then get your shift going with the right direction. Love that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing the tips. Was there something else you were going to share or?
No, I think that's the major one. I'd just over communicate.
Awesome. I love it. Well, as you know, that each episode is a quick, juicy tidbit of inspiration to help our leaders to be confident, to be empowered, or to lead from the heart. And I believe you're focusing on confidence today?
I am.
Okay, awesome. So I know you've got some great tips for everybody. Are you ready to give it to them?
I am. I'm getting my notes up in front of me so I can try to look at the camera at the same time.
You're so cute. Well, this is all casual. It's just to help people be re-inspired, just like a typical huddle. So no worries there. I'm going to turn it over to you to give some of those juicy tidbits. Sound good, Calvin?
Sounds good. Sounds
all
good.
Right, awesome. Take it.
Thank you. All right. So my tips today are all around being confident, and start out with always remembering you are where you are for a reason. A lot of times you may end up in a role that's not ideal for you. It might be tough, may not be the best place to work, but you know what? You're there for a reason. And this kind of ties in with, I have two other points here. There are no accidents, and always be learning. And as long as you're learning, as long as you're trying to absorb everything you can from the role that you're in, eventually it will pay off. I can share some stories of hotels that I've worked. I was very excited as a revenue manager. You get really excited about the brand, right? You want to sell something that's nice, unique, fun. And I got really absorbed in that at one point in my career. And I think things conspired to put me in places that were very unique, were very luxury and lifestyle, that were some of the worst places I've ever worked. And I think the lesson in there was it's not all about that sign on the door, right? When you get in behind the scenes, inside the four walls, as Christine says, sometimes it's not as nice as it's cracked up to be. But you know what? I learned the most in those situations. So don't shut yourself off from being able to absorb what's there simply because you may not be happy there. Some of these roles I worked in very, very contentious situations where they would hire our company to manage their revenue and manage the operation, but you fought with ownership every single day over the smallest things. And that taught me to be patient. That taught me how to communicate and not let my emotions get involved. And it served me well in future roles where you go into situations and people try to, come at you a certain way. And you're like, I've dealt with a lot worse than this. So this is not going to faze me right now. So always maintain that attitude of trying to learn, trying to pick up something from where you are. You may have people you don't like to work with. You may have bosses that aren't great, but you know what? Learn from them too. Everybody's in their role for a reason, and there's something you can pick up from them, and it's only going to make you better. And the confidence comes from just knowing that, sometimes we struggle with, you may get a role and people deal with this imposter syndrome, right? You're like, I'm not that smart. Why am I here? How did I even get this? You're there for a reason. They hired you for a reason. So just be confident in yourself, what you can do, because there are no accidents.
I love that. And even just, like our conversation in the beginning, like, how do they even know us to be on the top 50 hospitality people? I am always in imposter syndrome. I don't think I've ever not been. Even taking a front desk role. I remember when I was recruited for Keelan Cove Water Resort, and I kept thinking, why do they think I can do this?
Yeah.
So if you're out there thinking that, I think that, Calvin thinks that, at the highest level people in the industry that I've ever talked to have that imposter syndrome. So just if you can know that that's just something we all are working with, that you're not alone. You're not alone. I love that you brought that up. And I love how you're always be learning and taking that challenging situation. And I always love saying, in all kinds of crazy situations, saying, how can I be fascinated by this situation? Walking away from that, I am fascinated that I didn't lose my temper. I am fascinated that I was patient. I am fascinated that someone else could misunderstand my meaning so much. And I want to, change that. So if you can walk away from a conversation or a situation feeling fascinated, all the better.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Right. I love that. Brandon, who is one of my guests as well, he's the one who first taught me about being fascinated. Yeah, I love that.
I like that.
Oh my gosh, you're awesome. Thank you so much for those tips. Now, as you know, I'm the Chief Fun Officer here at the Wise Pineapple. So I always love to make a little room for fun. And because you are so much fun, I've got a special new game.
I love it.
Are you ready?
I'm excited. I'm excited already.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and for those of you who are listening on podcasts, I'm going to try to describe the picture I'm going to post up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a typical meme picture. And on the spot, let's see if you can create something funny to make it a meme.
Let's do it.
Okay, I love it. All right, so again, for those, oh wait, hold that thought. Wait a minute, where did my pictures go? Okay, hold that thought, everybody. We are going. Hold that thought. No, that's a video.
Christine is a master of building suspense.
Yeah. Oh, here they are. I thought I lost my pictures. Okay, yeah, master of building suspense. Okay, here's the first one. I'll describe it for everybody listening in. Okay, here it is. It is Pikachu looking surprised.
This is front desk when they show up and they're -7 already.
You're so good. That's perfect. Perfect. Okay, ready? Here comes number 2. Michael Jordan crying.
I'll do this one from the revenue side. This is when you miss a perfect sell by one room.
Oh, you just breaks your heart. Very good. Okay, now this one, I don't think you've seen this picture before. I literally saw this picture yesterday and I laughed so hard. And the first person I thought of is you and what you would do with this picture to make it a meme. All right, Here it is. I'm going to describe it. It is a 7'2" tall man that is very muscular sitting in economy.
This is when your hotel takes a citywide block that it can't fit.
Oh my God! You beyond exceeded my expectations on that one. I'm going to send you that so you can make that meme.
Absolutely. There'll definitely be some overflow on that block right there.
Oh my God, Calvin, that was brilliant. Oh my God, you cracked me up. Oh, well, Calvin, while I continue to laugh, tell everybody where they can connect with you because you're awesome.
Yeah, of course, guys. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Calvin Tilokee. I also have a new podcast called The Growth Spot to help you build your career and, self-development. And I'll share a lot more of the stories that I kind of got into here today. So you can find me there on YouTube, also on Spotify at The Growth Spot.
That's awesome. And I have to tell you, I think you probably did this on purpose. When I saw the icon of your new podcast and I saw it was the G spot.
It is. I did do it on purpose.
I was like, did he do that on purpose or did he not realize that? What he did? I'm so naive. I really
I definitely did it on purpose because sometimes it's hard to find, but once you get it, you will take off.
Oh my God, you just cracked me up so much. I love it. All right. Well, Kelvin, we end every huddle with great energy. So what is our phrase of the day today?
Today's phrase is going to be always be learning.
Love it. All right. So everybody out there listening in, I want you to put your hand in no matter where you are. We're going to put our hand in. And Calvin, can you count us down? Always be learning. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Always be learning.
Woo! All right, everybody out there, make it an awesome day. We love you so much. Stay strong. And Kelvin, man, this was so much fun. Thank you for being here.
Great time. Yeah. Thank you for having me, Christine.
You bet. See